Welcome back. So, today we're going to do the Soldier of Fortune Career Agent mission. But first, let's take a look at skills. So, Shield Operation, Social Glente Destroyer, we got trained up. You can tell I haven't been on this character for a little while. I've been busy on my main character. We are currently training Glente Frigate 4, which will actually finish in an hour. And then we'll do Glente Destroyer 4. And then kind of less important ones. Yeah, this looks good for now. Right, let's get started. Gusovo Albres. The swap. Something just came up that's right up your alley. Welcome, Sovereign Nadir. I'm told you want to learn some of the more advanced aspects of warfare. A friend of mine has been summoned to a face-to-face meeting by a local pirate cartel who have recently been attempting to blackmail him. I want you to take my friend's place and kill these criminals. Clear the area of any hostile vessels. So, for the sake of these career agent missions, most of these things end up being pretty much the same as the Enforcer missions. The Soldier of Fortune career path in here is a lot more to do with PvP. Things like duels, combat PvP, different types of warfare. But because it's just career agent missions, we're going to be killing a lot of NPCs. So, let's begin. Alrighty. Let me make sure I have everything I need in here. Yep, we look good for now. Have our single drone. Let's undock. And let's take the acceleration gate. I've got my shield partner spinning. I've heard these referred to as spinny bits. Which I very much agree with and like that term. Look. I'm trying to remember if this is... Nope, okay, there are going to be more. I wasn't sure if there were just one enemy for the beginner mission. Because while we did do the Enforcer agent missions first, technically you can do any of the mission agents first. So we're going to have a pretty easy time because we did the Enforcer missions first, in terms of having decent weapons and a decent ship for this. Alrighty, let's go loot. I am playing this during the beginning of the Crimson Harvest. It wasn't supposed to start until tomorrow, but they actually decided to start it today. I do not have a whole lot of information on it. This is the first, major event I've actually been a part of since I've started the game. This video is coming out a little bit over a week after I record it. So one of the creators I follow, called Nth Dimensional, is planning on putting out a video in a couple days. So I will put the link for the Crimson Harvest video from Nth down in the description of this video. So you can watch that if you're interested in knowing more about the event. Alrighty, very simple. Go back and dock. And complete mission. Good work out there. As a show of thanks, my friend passed along part of the blackmail money he'd accumulated. You're clearly ready for bigger things, so let me know when you're ready to learn more. I am ready. Yes, I have something for you. We've discovered the headquarters of the pirate group you dispatched in your last mission, and it's time to take them out for good. I'm going to give you a frigate, loaded with proximity-based explosive charges, and your job is to fly it directly into their headquarters. As your frigate explodes, you'll be perfectly safe inside your capsule, so just relax and get back to me when you're done. Fly the frigate your agent gave you into the pirate base. Once the explosive charges inside have been set off, your assignment will be complete. And this is one of the reasons I decide to do this career agent pretty early on is because there is a chance you can die. I don't think I did when I first started the game, but it feels pretty risky. So they are going to grant us a Mollis, which has remote sensor dampening capabilities, which doesn't matter for this mission in particular. So let's accept, and we will receive the ship. And it is instructing us that we must board the ship. Let's do that. I'm not going to bother naming it, since this ship is going to die pretty much immediately. This is a pretty cool looking ship in my opinion. It reminds me of Boba Fett's main ship in Star Wars. So first thing I'm going to do, we know for a fact that this ship is going to get exploded. So we can be a little cheeky and choose the insure option. It lets us know that it will be insured for 12 weeks. And if we repackage it, or generally move it, destroy it, the insurance is basically voided. So insurance is interesting and not as useful as it used to be, I've heard. Apparently people were abusing this to basically get free money out of it. For the most part, what I've learned is you want to get the platinum insurance if you're going to get any. So you can see this is going to cost us 51,000 ISK, and then we will receive 171,000 ISK. If we look at this ship on the market, it is 230,000 is the general amount for this area. So you're not getting the full amount of the ship. The reason you want to do platinum is because even if you don't have any insurance on your ships, you will get a small payout. And basically the platinum is the only one that tends to be worth it. Especially, like, if you are doing PvP and you expect to lose your ship, I highly recommend insuring it with platinum. That way you have your fun and you get some extra money back out of it. Especially in cases like this. During missions where they tell you you're going to lose your ship, definitely get some insurance on it. And I'm not going to bother fitting anything on this, because it is going to be lost. And another acceleration gate. I remember being very nervous when I first did this mission. I was overly concerned about losing ships. This whole career agent mission path is basically saying, you're going to lose ships. That's okay. It is a part of the game. Alright, we are going to completely ignore the ships that are here and head straight for the hideout, because we have a bomb. Get a close up so you can see what happens here. Yes. So ship goes boom, you end up in your capsule, and we're gonna hit dock. And there goes the facility. Yeah, so when you lose a ship, you don't immediately die. You get ejected into your capsule that you can then warp around in. It's also a pretty valid strategy because there's not much align time with the capsule. It's fairly safe in high and low sec to leave your ship, hop in a capsule, and jump to a different station. As long as you're not using autopilot, you should be able to get wherever you need safely that way. The only real downside is you don't have any storage space, obviously, because it is just your body. Alright, complete mission. Good work. You've now seen for yourself that losing a ship isn't the end of the world. You capsuleers have a saying though, don't fly what you can't afford to lose. If you stick to affordable ships and modules, you'll be able to learn without risking everything you own. When you're ready for another assignment, let me know. Yeah, so don't fly what you can't afford to lose is a very popular saying. Basically, if you are working towards a certain ship and you like just get enough money to afford it and you decide to buy it and just go all in, there's a decent chance you're going to end up losing that ship. And then you have to work pretty hard, usually with like mining and basic stuff to get other ships ready. And it's very discouraging. I don't recommend it. I recommend in general at least having double what the ship is going to cost. That if you do lose it, you can just buy another one if you really want to. But let's go on to the next mission. Yes, I have something for you. Next up is a kind of interdiction called warp disruption. When activated on another targeted ship, these kinds of modules tackle it, disabling its warp drive. Tackling only works if you keep the target within your module's range and can overpower its warp strength. A warp disruptor lowers a ship's warp strength by 1, while the more powerful warp scrambler modules reduce it by 2. I'll give you a civilian warp disruptor to test out on a pirate that escaped from the headquarters you just blew up. Pin him down, but don't blow him up. Find the fleeing pirate and activate your civilian warp disruptor on him, preventing an escape. You are authorized to kill any escort vessels that you see, but not the primary target. Let's accept, and we will get the warp disruptor. So warp disruption is very frustrating if you're the one being warp disrupted. Do not recommend. We're gonna head back into our incursus for this. Yeah, it's basically the main way that keeps people from escaping PvP. It's something where if you are caught off guard, it's very frustrating, and it can be very discouraging at first if you're not expecting it. There are things that you can do to kind of get around it. Hold on one moment. Let me install this civilian warp disruptor. I can go into show info. Fitting, it's a medium power slot. We're not really using the stasis webifier for now, so we can drop this in and switch it back later. Okay, so our ship is now fitted. So let me go. Okay, I don't have it yet. The Venture, which is one of the main industrialist ships, it says in the traits that it has a +2 to warp core strength. I'm going to go into the main menu here, ship tree. And this is a lot of info. You'll get used to it as you play. If you go into ore, this is where most of the mining frigates and stuff are. Yeah, so if you see second from the bottom, the 2+ bonus to ship warp core strength, that means instead of having the base warp core strength of 1 like most ships do, which I'm sure is somewhere in here, but I'm not sure where. Warp speed, maximum velocity. Hold on. Double check the fitting. I believe that would be in navigation. Nope. Warp speed. It might not actually be in here. They might just assume you know that most ships have a warp core strength of 1. But yeah, the Venture is one way to kind of get around it slightly. If you have multiple people using warp core stabilizers on you, you're probably still going to get tackled and not be able to warp away. There are other ships that have the extra warp core strength. There is also something called a warp core stabilizer, but it has pretty serious drawbacks. It cuts your drone, the amount of drones you can have, in half, which really stinks for Galente, unfortunately, because they are very drone heavy. Yeah, and you can also, like, if you have a micro warp drive, you can try and get out of range. Like Aura said, if you are not in range, you can't use the warp disruptor. This one has a range of 20 kilometers. So if you are faster, you can get outside of the range of an enemy's warp disruptor and then try and warp away. It's a whole thing. I'll go over in more detail some of the finer points of PvP once we're done with all the starter stuff. It's definitely something where I feel like the game doesn't tell you a whole lot about it. It's basically like, yeah, here's this thing, use it on this person, but then doesn't go into the specifics of things like warp core strength for different ships and stuff like that. Alrighty. Hey, alright, please don't shoot me. I'll leave, just let me go. And we can do it. We can deactivate, then go dock. And because we're doing faction warfare, we probably will end up using warp disruptors. Just so that people can't flee. They're pretty standard for PvP, because otherwise you can do what we've done for missions and like go dock, heal up, and then come back and stuff like that. Oh yeah, here's the... Every time you lose a ship, you get a kill report, which gives you information on like stuff that you lost, who did the final blow and who was attacking you. And here you get the insurance money. So your friendly insurance company has transferred the 171,000 ISK to my account for the recent loss of your ship. And you also get a communication about which ship you have taken insurance out on and when it will expire. Alrighty, let's talk to him, complete this mission. Nicely done, Sovereign Nadir. It looks like our pirate friends got the message loud and clear. Hopefully you understand the basics of warp disruption now. There's more to it, of course, but regardless of how each different type of module works, the principle is always the same. Pin them down and keep them there. Next up, I want to show you something a little more on the defensive end of things. Let me know when you're ready for the next assignment. We can request. For you, my friend, there's always something. A vessel nearby was attacked by pirates, with the only survivor left for dead in a disabled vessel. We need you to repair his ship with remote armor repair modules so he can return to safety. Let me stress again that you are to repair the vessel, not blow it up. I know you capsuleers have an itchy trigger finger at the best of times. So find the missing agent and repair his vessel. We'll be given this small remote armor repair. So let's accept. Close this. Go into inventory. Civilian small remote armor repair. Show info. Fitting, this requires a high power slot. So we're going to temporarily have to take off one of our guns. I don't want to take off the whole group. No conversations, please. It will clear the group. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Okay, that's just saying that how you group them. When you're out in space, it's undone. That is not terrible. Let's throw charges back on. Throw these back in the hangar. Put the small armor repair on. So what this module does is it will repair the armor of whichever ship you are targeting and activate this on. There is also a shield booster version where you transfer some of your shield to an ally or repair a shield. Actually, I haven't used the shield like support modules before. You can tell I don't do a whole lot of PvP. I'm honestly not even going to bother grouping them. Once we're done with this mission, we're going to take off the remote armor repair, I believe. I was invited to join a corp. Yeah, I'm going to talk about corps in the future. I'm not going to accept this, and I do not recommend that you accept corp invitations like that. Here's the damaged vessel. Let's approach it. Yeah, especially when you're in like the career agent area, you're going to get a lot of just random people trying to talk to you, people trying to invite you to their corp. Definitely finish the career agents before joining a corp, just so you have an idea of like what you want to be doing in the game, what you enjoy. Oh. Transmission from damaged vessel. Basic systems are operational once again. We have functional warp drives. Functional warp drives. Thank you, pilot. I owe you one. I'm getting out of here. Then they warp away. We can go back and dock. Yeah, there's a lot of info with corps. You can certainly join another corp if you want to. And if you don't like it, you can leave. But like I said, that's something I'll go over once we're finished with these tutorial agents. And complete this mission. We will receive the remote armor repair book. That's complete. Good work out there. Our agent reported a safe journey back home. I hope you've come to learn something in the process too. I arranged for a skill book to be made available to you as a reward. If you're interested in the use of remote armor repair modules, then you'll want to train it up eventually. So I am actually going to... Oh, it looks like we already have this trained up. Let's see, if we inject... Oh no, we didn't. Okay. Let me see, remote armor. Is that in here? No. Remote armor repair systems. So this will reduce the capacitor need for the modules. So I'm not planning on using that, but I will add that to the end of the list. Alright, let's see what the next mission is. Request? Yes, I have something for you. Alright, this next assignment is going to test your nerves. We're sending you into a much larger and better defended pirate base. It is unlikely that you will defeat all their forces. Just put up the best fight you can before being destroyed. I'll provide you with a combat frigate, but you'll have to fit it with your own modules. I'd keep the fittings cheap. You're not expected to come out of this one intact, although we do expect you to make at least one kill. Let me stress this point, Sovereign Nadir. We want you to kill at least one pirate, and then hold out for as long as you can, so you may not leave the area until your ship has been destroyed, or by some miracle you survive the fight. Use the frigate I'm giving you, since if you lose your own, I will not be replacing it. Yeah, so this mission's kind of scary. I mean, most of these ones are where you're losing your ship. Make a stand at the pirate base, destroy at least one ship, and survive for as long as you can against the reinforcements that come. So, once again, let's accept this. And close. And I believe... What was my strategy last time? I believe last time you can kind of cheese the system a little bit. Let's take that. And this villager that we got for free, we can trash it. You can click this button to get your complimentary Corvette. Which you will then hop into. You can strip the fitting to get extra modules. Leave the ship. Trash it again. And then get another one. Strip the fittings. Now you should have 3 of the civilian Gatlings. So I'm going to hop into one of these incursus. I'm not going to bother naming it since it's going to be destroyed and we know that. I'm gonna go into the item hanger, open the fittings, and now add the civilian Gatlings. And I'll add one of the civilian afterburners. You don't have to do this, you can use whatever you have, especially if you've been like scavenging from the wrecks that you've gotten. But yeah, this is just the cheapest way. And once again, right click, hit insure. It'll give you that prompt again. Hit platinum, insure it. And now we have our free ship. We have free fittings that we got from abusing the Corvette button. And we're going to go shoot something up and get blown up again. And as the mission agent said, you do have to destroy one person. So you can't just go out with an empty ship and get blown up and come back and be done. You do have to have weapons on your ship. But that is the easiest way to get free ones that you don't have to care at all about losing. Take the acceleration gate. Here is the person that we have to fight. Let's orbit, lock. We can turn on afterburner. And this has a range of 7,300. Ow. Rude. But missiles. Okay. Here we go. And this should be enough to take this person down. If I remember correctly, once you eliminate this person, you are swarmed and warp disrupted and locked down. It's not much fun. There is literally no way to get out of this getting your ship blown up thing. And one of the things you might notice, because this person's using missiles of some kind, is that the missiles actually have to travel to you instead of it being automatic, like our hybrid turrets are. And I believe you can outrun missiles if you're fast enough. Alright, and this person is using an armor repair, because their armor keeps going back up. But it is not enough. Now it says hold out for as long as you can. You're probably not going to hold out for very long, honestly. We can try. We can shoot at stuff. Doesn't hurt anything, but... yeah. Sensors dampened, webified. You are locked down and there is nothing you can do. Oh, so the sensor dampening makes it so that you have a shorter lock-on range. So even though these are 7,000 meters, we can't even lock onto them because we've been so dampened. Alternatively, you can say that your sensors are moist if you're like me and you like annoying people with that word. It's like getting jelly. If you've ever watched the movie Spaceballs, it's like your sensors getting jammed. I am actually going to try and fly towards this terrorist person. You'll also see that because we have the triple webifier, our max speed is like 12 meters per second. So we are getting nowhere very fast. I actually wonder if it's like at all possible to actually like win this fight. I really don't think it is, since we can't lock onto anything and we're going so slow. There might be someone who's done it. I am not that person. And I'm going to hold my cursor over here so that when the dock command comes up we can click it quickly. don't think they do anything to you when you're in your capsule, but just in case. Okay, get out of there. Yep. Clicking. Warping. Back in the capsule. You'll be seeing your capsule a lot if you start doing PvP. Advertisement for Plex. This is our insurance money again. This is about the insurance contract. You can close that. This is our kill report. So you can see here it shows you what you had. Yeah, so from here, it gives you the option to buy all, which won't immediately buy it. The following items cannot be added to order. Yeah, because you can't actually buy those on the market. Interestingly, you can these apparently. They'll just bring up the dialogue so you can buy everything if you want. So what you can do is go to a market hub, pull up your kill report, and then hit buy all. You can also save the fittings or simulate it to do all the things you usually do with your fittings. I'll go over the fittings a little bit more in detail later. And I believe if you need to, you can go into your character sheet. Interactions, combat log, show kills and show losses, and you can access the kill reports from here as well. But for now, let's talk to our agent. Complete mission. Not bad, Sovereign Nadir. You did well out there against overwhelming odds. Hopefully that allowed you to wrestle with the threat of ship loss. In these early days, you probably won't find yourself in such challenging situations, but it's helpful to know how to face them. Whether you lose a ship or not, you can always rise to the next challenge. So now that we've gotten 2 ships blown up, let's see what the next mission is. Don't look back. Here's a mission suited for someone of your caliber. Welcome back. Now we're going for speed. You can use 2 types of active propulsion modules, afterburners, and their bigger brother, micro warp drives. We're about to teach you how to use afterburners. Afterburners don't increase your speed as drastically as micro warp drives, MWDs, but they suffer less penalties. They use only a moderate amount of capacitor to run, and cannot be disabled by warp scramblers. Afterburners are also much easier to fit to your ship. They use less power grid and less CPU, and have no fitting penalties. We've got an area riddled with dangerous electromagnetic interference that will damage your ship periodically. Your task is to fly through the clouds of electromagnetic disturbance using an afterburner and make it to the other side in one piece. So, I just learned something from this that I forgot. I'm sure I learned at some point. Micro warp drives, if you're being warp disrupted, micro warp drives also won't work. Which makes a lot of sense. I've gotten pinned down and not been able to use my micro warp drive, and I was very confused as to what happened. So apparently afterburners are the way to deal with that. Use your afterburner to travel quickly through the electromagnetic disturbance to the asteroid colony. We're given this civilian afterburner. We can accept. Close. Go back into our incursus. Board. Let's fix the fittings on here. So we no longer need the warp disruptor or the armor repairer. We can add that, and we'll group that back up in a minute. And we'll go down to the stasis webifier and add that back on. Stasis webifier. Try saying that 5 times fast. Alright, we're all set. Let's undock. Take the acceleration gate again. Transmission from agent. Alright, once you enter the next area, you should see an asteroid station. Head to that as quickly as you can. The area surrounding it will be dangerous, but once you make it to the station itself, you will be safe. Basically, don't dawdle. Because you will end up getting your ship blown up. I believe if you really, really need to, you could redock and come back, but Shouldn't be necessary. Alright, where are we? There's the asteroid station. Click it. Doesn't show up in our overview. You can find it in the All tab though. Let's approach, activate the afterburner, and get to it as quickly as possible. As you can see, there is a turbulent storm that is going to be damaging us as we go. We do have the armor repair on here, if we need to use that too. Good work, you're done. Report back to me. Now let's go dock. I forgot to show exactly, yeah, we were at like 800 meters per second. I can't believe I didn't even realize that micro warp drives would get disabled when you're warp disrupted. It makes so much sense, but it definitely explains why I've gotten my ships blown up on my main character a few times. Our conversation complete. Good work. You made it through the gauntlet alive. You should take a moment to consider all that you've learned so far and how it all ties together. No module works in isolation. Warp scramblers, for example, the close-range interdiction modules, don't work well unless you can close in on your enemy, and for that you need an afterburner. Similarly, if you're using a warp disruptor, the long-range variants, you'll perhaps want to keep your enemy away from you. So again, afterburners become useful. Dictating range is a crucial aspect of any engagement, but when you're tackling, it becomes particularly important. Which is very true. Next mission. Weapon of choice. Yes, I have something for you. Alongside hybrid guns, we Galenta use drones, the best option of all. They are highly versatile, with different types capable of anything from head-on rush tactics to electronic disruption. Moreover, they can allow you to fight them from a safe distance. In fact, if someone compromises your electronic systems and you can't even lock them, your drones will sense that aggression and come to your aid. The only limits to their numbers are your ship's drone bay and its drone bandwidth. And also the drone skill. You can get your drone skill up to 5, which means that you can have up to 5 drones. We've cornered a pirate nearby. I'll provide you with a civilian drone, and I hope you finish him off with it. We are way ahead of this. Use your civilian hobgoblin to destroy the pirate. Accept. And thank goodness it is not going to force us to use the civilian hobgoblin. I hope not, at least. We can always come back and equip it if we need to. Let's go into skills real quick. I want to check drones. Okay, so you can have level 5 drones on an alpha character. That is good. I am actually going to throw drones 2 in here. And let me add the other levels of this in between other things. Because, as a Galente character, we are going to be using drones quite a bit. So now we can close that. Undock and warp to site. And I want us specifically to use a drone. Let's go hobgoblin out. And then press F. F to let the drone engage. I apologize for my voice being a little weird today. I've been sick. My sinuses are not appreciating the autumn weather. There we go. And then Shift R to return the drone. Make sure we wait for it to get back to our ship. And then go dock. Oh, this notification feed, as it says click, hold, and drag to reposition, I am going to move that over here. Just that it's less obnoxious in this corner hidden behind my VTuber. That conversation. Complete mission. Excellent work out there. Ideally, you've built a little on your understanding of our nation's warfare methods. Just keep in mind that if you prefer one system over another, you can train into it. None of the empires restrict access to their weapons technology, Of course, Gallente weapons work best on Gallente ships, which often give exclusive bonuses to fitting hybrid weapons or drones. So if you tend to like any other type of weapon system, then chances are you'll want to train or cross-train into that race's starships as well. Next mission, please. The Pacifist. Something just came up that's right up your alley. That I'm a pacifist? Fleet warfare is common in New Eden, and in any fleet, the fleet commander, often referred to as the FC, is the most important voice to listen to. For your next assignment, you will join one of our local anti-piracy fleets as auxiliary support for a hostage rescue. You will take your orders from a local Concord FC, and your job will be explained to you once you arrive at the perimeter of the base. Follow the instructions carefully. The lives of those hostages and the completion of your own training depend on it. Acquire these goods, 10 hostages. Follow the instructions from the Concord fleet commander and bring the hostage situation to an end. So when you're doing like PvP, you will probably end up in a Discord voice channel, listening to fleet commands from there. When you're in a fleet, there are also markers that the fleet commander can apply to different ships. We will go over more of that if and when we join a fleet of some kind. So let us warp to site. Here is the Concord fleet commander. Somewhere. Where are you in space? There you are. Okay. Message from Concord fleet commander. Welcome to the fray, Egger. I've ordered the fleet to hold its ground for the time being, but we're going to send you in to recover the hostages shortly. Move out to the next area where the pirates are. They're expecting a negotiator, but we're sending you instead. You are not to engage unless I give the order. We need to maintain the appearance of peaceful negotiation until the safety of the hostages can be confirmed. So let's close that. Take the acceleration gate. For this mission, you'll get the pop-ups. That obviously won't happen when you're working with other people. Other humans, I should say. Message from Concord Fleet Commander. Alright, good work. In a moment, we're going to request that the pirates relocate the hostages to the prison facility you should see up ahead there, so that we can verify their safety. The moment they've done that, I want you to charge towards that prison and get them out. Do not fire on anyone or anything. Your only objective is the safe rescue of the hostages. Once the recovery is confirmed, we'll deal with these scumbags ourselves. Sit tight and wait for the go order. Move in. Rescue the hostages. Go, go, go. So here is the prison facility. We want to open cargo. And I'm going to add a afterburner to make this go quicker. Yeah, so Concord is kind of like the police force in EVE. They're the ones who respond in high security systems when hostile action is taken. So we'll be getting a loot the hostages. And now they want us to dock back up. And all these ships will just kind of warp out now that this site is done. Oh, and if you get annoyed by like the flashing bits, you can right click on a channel. And oh, it's not actually. Oh yeah, blink on new activity. If you uncheck that, you won't get the obnoxious blinking. Start conversation. Complete. Well done out there. You followed your orders as I hoped you would. There's a lot more to being a competent fleet pilot, of course, but so often it is these simple lessons that are forgotten the fastest. Discipline counts for a great deal. Request mission. Blue. I have just the thing you want. We're returning to interdiction tactics by having you test out a stasis webifier module. When activated on a target ship, the stasis webifier will encase it in a containment field and slow it down dramatically. Time for you to see for yourself. We've chased a pirate down to a nearby hideout, and we want you to pin him down. We'll provide you with a civilian stasis webifier, and you may want to fit an afterburner too. Use the civilian stasis webifier to corner the pirate and then interrogate him. We don't actually do the interrogation part, we just have to webify. So it looks like the one that we have on our ship already is fine. So we can undock and warp to location. And this is where the Enforcer and the Soldier of Fortune, two career agent paths, kind of overlap a little bit. It basically goes over everything in case you only do one or the other, although it is highly recommended to do all of the career agent missions. You get a decent amount of ISK, you get a lot of free ships, and you learn a lot about the game this way. Get out of here, Egger, from this pirate leader. Let's approach. Target lock, afterburner. This stasis web of fire has a 10-kilometer range. They're firing, which is fine. They're not hitting us very well. Alright, I'm standing down. I'll cooperate, just let me live. Yeah, then we can just go dock. Yeah, they do 1 damage per hit. 1, 2. They would never actually damage us. Stand down, pilot. Good work. Report back to me when you're ready. Concord can take it from here. Yeah, and there's a Concord officer that warped in. And we don't care about Serpentis. Start conversation. Complete mission. Nicely done. You applied just the right amount of firepower necessary, something which can often yield more than outright slaughter. You've almost completed your training with us. Once you're done, we plan to recommend you to our nation's Capsuleer Militia, the Federal Defense Union. What you have learned from us would be quickly overshadowed by what you could learn while fighting in service to the Federation. You might think money would be a more suitable reward, but reputation matters a great deal in New Eden, and so does finding people who share your hopes and ideals. To belong to the militia, though, you must prove yourself as a combat pilot. That is what lies ahead, Sovereign Nadir. Get a combat ship fitted out, and get yourself ready for a fight. So this mission, let's request the exam. Something just came up that's right up your alley. We're going to be stepping back on this one and letting you take control of the situation. One of our patrols spotted a small group of suspicious vessels headed towards a local pleasure hub. After processing their ship's ID tags, we've determined that one of the pilots is a known terrorist responsible for dozens of station bombings. A Concord raid into the premises would be picked up by the terrorists well before the ships actually arrived. We need this murderer team taken out while we have his location, so you must move in yourself and then assassinate him. Understand? Kill the terrorist leader inside the pleasure hub. And for this we will get a catalyst, which I will go over once we are done here. We'll also get the Glente Destroyer book again. Let us accept. So this mission, because I didn't do the Enforcer mission first on a new character I was doing to test out which order I wanted to do these in for this series, I didn't have the Incursus, I don't think. Or I didn't have things fitted well enough because I hadn't gotten the extra stuff from the other career agent. And I ended up dying. Which can happen. This is probably the most dangerous mission from their career agents. So just be forewarned. That's why I did them in this order. Because now we've got all the stuff done. Had plenty of ISK to get the guns we wanted with the ammunition we needed. Do not try and do this in a Corvette. Transmission from Agent. Scanners are picking up 3 hostiles moving into their ships now. Looks like they've noticed you. Good luck. Yeah, so here are the 3. The leader, and then 2 trainees. Let's unleash our drone. Our drone decided to take on that person, and that is fine. Yeah, because of missiles. Let us go here. Let's take out the trainees first, so that we have less firepower coming our way, because they are in smaller ships, and easier for us to take out easily and quickly. And now we're being webified and warp disrupted. This is why I died. Because if you are not ready for it, it hurts. So now let's orbit this one, have our drone attack this one specifically. And start taking this one out. I'm actually surprised that we haven't gotten... There we go. Now we've gotten down to 30% shield. Because we have the armor repairer, and Glente ships are generally designed for armor tanking, is what it's called, I'm not too concerned. Now that I actually have a ship that is good for this kind of thing, I can turn on the armor repair module, and turn on our guns, and orbit the terrorist leader. As you can see, they're doing damage, but we're repairing it faster. So there is nothing to worry about. Yeah, I think I tried to do this in the Corvette, in my other character, with the civilian Gatling gun, and no drone, so I wasn't able to actually do enough damage, and those missiles do hurt. Our armor repair is doing its job well, though. It does help that the Incursus has the little bit of bonus in its traits, the bonus to the armor repair amount. But our capacitor just ran out, which wouldn't be great. Probably should have turned off the shield hardener once our shield died, but we got through anyway. Let's go loot this, return our drone, turn our armor repair back on to repair the rest of the way. Loot this, got a shield booster, sensor dampener, nothing too interesting. Now we can go dock up. We can turn off the armor repair now. Yeah. No problem this time. Well, a little bit of problem. Ran out of capacitor, but that is fine. Alright. Start conversation. Complete mission. Excellent work, Sovereign Nadir. You've proven you know how to handle yourself in a deadly situation. We can always use good pilots like yourself. You should consider enlisting in factional warfare, which is actually something I will end up doing after we are done with this kind of tutorial stuff, where you can fight alongside other pilots pledged to the Federation. If instead you would rather broaden your skills, you can start a conversation with any of my fellow career agents right here in this station. Whatever you choose to do next, I thank you for the help you've given us. Fly safe, Captain. So we can close this now. We got another catalyst. So now we have 2 of those, which is good. That means if we lose one, we have a backup. So I caught myself off when I was editing the previous video, but this is a good video to actually talk about the catalyst. This is one of the primary PvP ships that people use, primarily because it is quite cheap for ships. It is about 1 million ISK. It can fit a lot of guns. I think 8 turrets. And no launchers. But yeah, you can fit 8 turrets on this. It's very cheap to run, and it's very effective because you can burst damage with that many turrets. And let's take a look at its traits. It gets the bonuses to the small hybrid turrets, basically, for optimal range, tracking speed, and fall off. So a lot of people use this for PvP. I assumed when I first started this game that you are going to see things like battleships and battlecruisers be used for PvP. But if you're just hanging out in like high-sec areas, catalysts are the things you have to be worried about, because people don't mind losing them, understandably, because they're very cheap. And yeah, if you see a group of catalysts, run. Run, dock, go to a different system, don't hang around. Catalysts, along with there are other like cheap ships like the Catalyst that can be used in PvP and be very effective. For now, I'm going to bid you adieu. I hope you're well, And next time we will be taking a look at the Explorer Career Agent. So have a good week. Stay radiant. I'll see you next time.